Okay, so I wanted to briefly touch on the student-teacher collaboration. I see that there's so many different ways for that to transpire. One of the ones that I really truly enjoy is when I allow my students, of course, to be able to interact within, say, Google Slides as a team. You have to be cautious because that can turn from a very well planned lesson into a disaster. Just make sure you prepare your students for that. But this is not so for the preparation of a lesson, but more so you being able to do so. So what I've done recently, and let me just share this really, really quickly. I teach social studies. So, well, right now I'm in AP Human Geography. And what I've done is I've created, and this is going to be an ongoing thing for me as well as them. I listed the students in alphabetical order, and this is all of them times two. All of them times two, but I'm only going to utilize the first batch, and that would be right here from 105 on up. And the students are all the blocks are mixed together, and shared this with them, and I made sure that I shared this with the class. And let me go into the class and look at that particular assignment, and I'll go to my third block. And this particular assignment is titled Country Comparison. So I have resources for them as well as the actual assignment. Let me make sure. Okay, and I probably put it under the, right here we go. So the country comparison, I'll give them several resources. I made sure I've had a student check for me, make sure these websites, which are all various government websites, some of them are not, but they're .org. And I shared one general template with them, and I was very specific on how I want them to follow through with it. But I shared that with them so they had directions. But I've also went ahead and within that same classroom, okay, here's another one. Here's the country comparison. I also made a blank slide for them with how I wanted the actual layout to look like. I was specific. I didn't want anything fancy, frilly. It was not so about the actual slide, just for it to be a resource to them to be able to research and have access to what they need. So I made sure that they had their individual copies. So where's the collaboration coming in? At this point in time, when I created this Google Sheet with these various countries, and my luck, there were just enough for every student to be assigned two countries they can compare and contrast. And what I've done is, as the students are sharing with me, so I asked each particular students, because even though I'm the originator of that particular slide, once they have full access to it, they have to share it with me again. So the students started sharing as they are, of course, they're not completed because I haven't given them all the requirements, but I am embedding, and I will make sure that this has titles on above. Let me see, insert row. So I'm going to title it, and I'm not sure why they're out of order, but there must be a reason why I had them out of order. And the students, as we're going through our lessons through the semester, will have access to each other's files. So if their question comes about various things, say I will pick a student I know. Okay, he surprised me. He did fairly well the other day. and they'll all have access. They already actually technically they already have access to it. So I asked them to compare and contrast, not more so in the sense to where they're okay. Let me fix that because since he shared it for me, I'm able to fix it. I've given students feedback, and now they're able to look at each other's work. That's the beauty of it. They're able to look at each other's work. So when I need them to have, okay, yeah, he did fairly well. Need them to have access to all of these countries. They are each other's resource. And it also encourages them to do a fairly decent job. And I will also make it a task for them to monitor each other's accuracy since they have all of the resources that are provided for them um, in the resource section, which was right here with an additional. So I'll try to be fairly organized, but that was my example of the collaboration because it's a little more intricate. At this point in time, they are using or utilizing each other for resources. I need to find out why this one of my columns has breaks in it, but I'll address that. So one more. Where is here she is. And as I mentioned before, each student has two. Once they find one, they can find the other, and the students can look at the various population um, statistics, various statistics on fertility rate, um, racial demographics, all that. And she did an excellent job. All right, so that's my take on student-teacher collaboration. They're definitely collaborating with each other. And the beauty of this is, since it's view only, I made sure my share setting was on, well, I see. Let me make sure. Yes, when I shared it, you click that, it was on view only. Anyone can view it. No one can edit it. They cannot edit my um, Google Sheet, and voila, we have resources. Well, we will have resources that will last us as we're discovering the different countries in human geography and the people that live there. And we don't have to go backtrack. So that's something that is definitely a bonus. So that's my take of collaboration.